broilers, it is a short term. Within 7 to 8 weeks, you are selling. But the only challenge with broilers, you must have a ready market. Sometimes we get into business without keeping records, but it is paramount to keep records for whatever you are doing.
So I'm back to Mzee Masum Abdallah's place. I've come to check on his, you remember the flock we watched last time? He sold it off. And he has a new flock. And the flock is, how old is it now?
About 3 weeks.
And how many weeks are you left with to let it off?
About another 3 weeks.
So I was so shocked. I thought when I come back, I'm going to find the other flock. But I was so surprised. And that's the reason I'm here. I actually want him to share with us the secrets to keeping broiler flocks, because most people, they fear broilers. I don't know why. And yet Mr. Abdallah here, he's happy with the broilers.
I also did layers before,
Okay.
but layers is a rather heavy investment.
Okay.
And you have to wait for a while before you start cooping what you have invested in.
Okay.
Because, for example, layers will take about 5 to 6 months before they start laying.
Okay.
And maybe by another 6 months, that's when they are full production capacity.
Okay.
That's when you start realizing the benefit of your investment. But with the broilers, it is a short term. Within 7 to 8 weeks, you are selling. But the only challenge with broilers, you must have a ready market.
Okay.
Because after 8 weeks, if you are still keeping them, then that means you are eating all the profit. It is a small profit margin, but a fast turner. That's the advantage of the broiler.
Okay.
If the market is there.
Zay, can you please take us through some of the daily practices involved when you are looking after broilers?
First and foremost, you must have proper house for broilers, or generally for poultry. There must be a house with free aeration, flow of air, in, out, in, out. When they are still young, they need heat, but as they grow, they need aeration. And then the other issue is the litter you use on the floor. And you have to keep on changing, because when it gets wet, then that much is going to produce germs and produce disease like coccidiosis. Generally, biosecurity, don't allow everybody to come in to your poultry house, or even the neighbors, local birds to come, because they could come with a disease, and then you can spread it to your stock to be happen.
Wow.
What we are doing now, like when you came here last time, we had that batch, and before they matured, we brought in another stock. Now we are also preparing. You saw the brood as already prepared. So anytime another stock is coming, we shall be continuously supplying the people we are dealing with.
So that means if you're dealing into broilers, you must ensure continuity.
Continuity must be there. Get people who can buy from you. They know that when I go to farm A, I will have birds. If it's not today, maybe after 2-3 days, they know that it's there. So in that case, we can be in business.
Interesting. How do I make sure the market is ready and it's available? And what if after those weeks I fail to get the market? What do I do?
If you fail to get the market, it's a big problem.
Okay.
That means you'll be encountering loss. But getting a market is another very delicate issue, because it depends on the numbers you are rearing. For example, for a very small flock, you can even get a market locally around those muchomo kiosks, blah, blah, blah. But for a big number, you must have people like hotels. They can take, let me say, about 500, 1,000 at one go. So we look for that type of markets.
Okay.
We might not have direct contact with, for example, the hotel A, but there are people who are already established. They have been supplying them for a long. So you have to look for this type of people, and then you get into agreement, and you produce and you sell to them.
What are some of the new technologies that you've realized on the market?
People are using cages.
Even with broilers.
the broilers like we use for rabbits and blah blah blah. But now, so you put in layers, in shelves. Shelf will put a space in between, and you can put in anything like a polythene to collect the droppings. And what you do, you remove it in the morning, so you eliminate the use of coffee husks. And it is very healthy. So you even this smelly thing that
You will not realize it. Wow, interesting.
But that can also be a challenge for a big farm, because we want to try it, we want to experiment it, we shall see if it works, then we shall adopt it.
How best can I benefit from broilers? Because for the layers and others, be like, I'll sell the chicks, or I'll sell the fertilized eggs, or I'll sell the eggs. How about the broilers? How can I benefit from them maximally?
Currently in Uganda, no idea is also coming. For example, when we used to slaughter the birds, we would throw away the heads, the legs, but now the offals can be fed to catfish.
Okay.
So it is not wasted.
Okay.
And then the legs and the heads, they can be crushed to make feed for dogs. What?
Okay.
So there's more innovation coming, but otherwise, and in some country even the feather is used for that, but we have not reached that level.
I mean, what scares people away from these broiler type of birds?
Broilers are not too difficult to manage, but I think what scares most people is market. Because when they are ready, you must sell them. There's no alternative that you are going to. The minute you keep them for a period longer than anticipated, then you are going to get into a loss.
How do I know that I've profited from my flock?
Oh, that is a tricky thing. Sometimes we get into business without keeping records. You just bring the birds, you buy feed, you start feeding them. You don't count the transport you use, you don't count the electricity you use, you don't count the water you use, you don't this. And then at the end you just sell and you think you are in business. But it is paramount to keep records for whatever you are doing. You are going to bring vaccine, you are going to use transport.
Of course.
You record that down. That's an expense. Electricity you use, you have, that's an expense. The water you use is an expense. Maybe for a bigger venture, you have laborers, salary. And so you have to take all this. And then before you sell your bird, you must know your production cost per bird. So you will know that you are selling either at a profit or at a loss. But when you just jump into the bandwagon, because your neighbor is selling at 11, you're also selling at 11. So you never know. Maybe your neighbor might be getting feed somewhere cheaply, subsidized. So to him, he might be making profit.
Taking you back to the droppings, so how do you manage yours? I mean, how do I change the droppings after how long? And is there a better way I can manage my droppings?
Currently, there are plastic meshes which are being used. So all the droppings will just go through, and then the birds are on a dry area. Because actually, broilers, they take a lot of water. And their feces is also wet.
Wet, okay.
So unlike the layers, it's also wet. So, for example, in a coffee house, within few days, it will be sticky. So you have to, and when it is sticky, it is uncomfortable for them. It is bound to produce diseases. So you have to remove it and replace with the dry one.
After how many days?
Give it about a week.
Okay.
But you keep on checking. It could even be less than a week. So you have to keep on checking. We used to put in a lot of coffee husks, about 6 inches, and then we shuffle it every day. But then at that you find it making cakes, sticking together, and then it becomes also a problem.
Wow.
So what we are doing now, we just put about thickness of about 1, 2, 3 inches. We shuffle it for about 2, 3 times. When it is getting sticky, we remove it. That's it.
Okay.
So you must have dry coffee husk standby all the time.
How do I mean, on a daily, what activities do I do in my poultry house for the broilers?
You wake up in the morning, remove all the drinkers, remove all the feeders, clean them, shuffle the house if there's need to do that, put in clean water,
Okay.
feed in the feeders. That routine has go on each and every day. You can also do it twice in the evening. For example, the drinkers in the morning, in the evening, you replace them with the new lot for the night.
Wow, interesting. How do I earn maximally from these broilers? I have stocked, I have invested. So how do I make sure my profits my capital comes out and I still have some profits?
Management. You have to look after them the right way from the brooder, give them the right feed, give them clean water, vaccinate them, all the schedules you will get from the suppliers. And you have the market, you make your difference.